Welcome to the Reading Retell game. This is an activity that can get students talking. It is one of the most successful activities I've used with a variety of language level students. As you can see from this overview, you require students to be in pairs, and sometimes they'll be talking and sometimes they'll be listening. There's a person A, student A, and a student B. And they need to have something to talk about. So even though it's called a reading retell, it can really be about anything. The text itself can really be about anything, but we'll get to that soon enough. Right now I'll explain how this activity actually works. First we'll have a student A here on the left, and they tell their story. They need to keep talking for the duration of the tell, as it's called. This could be a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, whatever it is. But you decide, and they know in advance that they are person A. And person B here, all they do is listen. They have to keep their mouth shut, and they say nothing. They should think about the story. Next, when the teacher or moderator says stop, the student B will now retell all that they remember of the story. Student A just listens and says nothing. They should think about what is missing. Usually, the time given for this is slightly shorter than the time given for the tell itself. Finally, both person A and B get to discuss what was missing or not accurate about the retell. Student A takes time to clarify the story. Student B should then ask more questions about the story. This depends on the level of students you're working with, but certainly higher level students could ask questions or predict more about what's happening in the story and have a more natural discussion about this. Finally, taking a step back from this, you can see that this is a timed activity. The timing varies depending on the language ability of the students. A maximum tell time, I think, would be about 2 minutes, and a retell time about a minute. Discussion after is usually about 1 minute. Extra language prompts can be given to the students to help them tell the story. My story was about, yes, that is correct, you were missing the part, etc. This is called a reading retell, but the text can be anything. It could be something read, seen on TV, or from actual daily life. The student's weekend, what was the most exciting thing that happened to them last night, etc. Define the limits of the game according to the language level of the students. When it is done, meaning when they're finished doing the activity for one story, they simply switch the roles and start again. Person B would become person A, and they'd tell their story. Students find this really quite a blast once they get into it, and they can get into a habit of talking in this manner. And I certainly know that my students look forward to it. It's a nice little break from other activities, and it can often be a great way to recycle either language they're learning or to benefit from language that some of the friends in the class have. When they try and tell it back to them, they often integrate either vocabulary or even grammar that they have just heard in the original telling of the story. Well, that's it. It's a fun activity, and I think you should give it a try.